What's going on? Welcome to HDiiTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Still continuing from Friday the 13th, we had the Seattle Storm taking on the Dallas Wings. The Dallas Wings played a lot better this game, better than the Thursday night game against New York Liberty. They played like they were just done. They didn't even feel like being there. But in this game here, Dallas jumped out to a big lead. Defensively, they were playing well. Everybody was touching the ball. McCowan, she was dominating finally in the paint, playing her 6'7" self, which everyone's been waiting for. But, you know, we don't know when that'll be. She doesn't do it consistently. The Seattle Storm really started out. They started out terrible, like real bad. They were getting beat on both ends of the floor. Everybody was missing easy shots, easy bunnies, and they were able to capitalize on some things. Dallas was playing well. Chris was balling down low. The bench gave him some production. Zuma, J.C. Sheldon had a good game. Enrique was going off. Satu was doing her thing. Everybody was chipping in. Soon as the end of the second quarter happened, they were up, I think, by 15, almost 18. The Wings were up, and then the Storm went on that 14-6 run, which was by Skylar Diggins-Smith. Skylar Diggins, man, has been playing great for this team. When they needed somebody to ignite the team, she's ignited the team with her motor, with her energy. I think she's finally found herself a home. Every place that she's gone through, she's kind of burnt bridges. Even though the Phoenix really wasn't her fault in Phoenix, that was mainly Diana Taurasi, being who she is. I got a video coming out on her soon on the Patreon exposing her being a hater. But we'll talk about that later. But they played great. That 14-6 run is what got Seattle back in the game. Second half started. Jewel Lloyd was giving them buckets through the first, second quarter. Third quarter, she made some good plays. NECA getting the offensive board, scoring. Mercedes Russell came in for Ezzy. I think Ezzy might have got nicked up, or she probably just sat out. Mercedes Russell did a great job on the inside guarding McCowan and Kalani Martin. And then it's just turnovers. It was a bad turnover game. I think Dallas had 18 or 19. Excuse me. Seattle had 16 or 17 at the end of the game. Dallas started making dumb mistakes, turning the ball over. And they went from being a team looking like the Dallas Wings team from last year to looking like this year's team in the second half. Enrique had some big buckets down the stretch. Jaylen Brown was okay. Could have been better. Didn't play that well. So it's a lot going on in that game. I think the Dallas Wings, they played today against the Fever. I'll watch that game and let you guys know how that went down. But the Dallas Wings they just made mistakes down the stretch, and a lot of this is mental errors. That's what's been beating the Dallas Wings. It hasn't been just their play. It's been mentally. They just haven't been able to close games out. They haven't been able to make the big plays down the stretch. Enrique could have won this game. She got the ball, faked out Skylar Diggins-Smith, and shot the ball. If she would have shot it a little sooner, man, that would have went in. They'd have won the game. They lost by 2 ultimately. Gabby Williams made 2 clutch plays. 2 big clutch plays. And she scored on the steal, and then she got another steal. So this was a great move by the Seattle by the Seattle Storm for fighting, hanging in there, but I just don't know what it is with Seattle. Is it because I think Jewell Loyd took too much of a step back to let everybody do what they do? You know, because right now this team, it goes as Skylar goes. That's the way it's looking. Everybody's letting Skylar be the leader, be the floor general. But at times the offense is very stagnant. And, you know, Jewell Loyd, she makes her baskets. Statistically, she looks good. But if you watch the games, Jewell Loyd just, you know, hasn't really been the same. Before they've added the talent, like last year and the year before, Jewell was going off. Like, she would initiate the offense at times, or she would take the shots. This year, it's like she's playing number 2 or number 3 some games. But she's making some big shots. She got a good layup down the stretch. She hit a good mid-range. Her defense was very good on Enrique. It kind of made Enrique go up and down with her scoring. So my thing is, I love how she plays and stuff. I love Jewell Loyd, but I think Jewell Loyd needs to be the focal point. I think Jewell Loyd needs to get the ball and dominate a little more. Just my opinion. I think she needs to dominate a little more. I think she needs the ball a little more in her hands. I think they need to set her up to score at times, because she just doesn't look comfortable. And I don't know if anybody understands what I'm saying. Like, if you're in the comment section, let me know. Because the Seattle Storm have just been up and down too much this year. I just don't like how they play up and down. They play too up and down. Defensively, they get cooked at times. And then they're fighting back to get in the game. But they spend so much energy getting back in the game. Oh, almost fell. Almost fell in here. They spend so much energy getting back in the game that it's like, man, they don't have nothing left to close. So I don't know what this team got to do, but I think this team needs to, they need to work on some things. Like, straight up, they need to work on some things. They need to play a lot better. I don't know what they have to do. Horston just hasn't been the same since she's been put back on the bench. I felt that was wrong. I felt Horston should have stayed in the lineup. I think you know, I think NECA should have came off the bench just to do it as a veteran leader. But, you know, she probably has in her contract where she don't come off the bench. And they weren't going to let Gabby come off the bench, because that's probably one of the conditions why she signed with the Seattle Storm. So, I mean, they're good, but I see this team being out in the first round. I think they're matched up with the Aces right now. I think the Aces beat them 2-1, if not 3-0, first round. I just don't see Seattle really putting up much of a fight. They still look to me, I think they need an off season, and then to play with one another, to learn one another. And then when next year start, you know, I think they'll be all right. You know? I think they'll be all right. You know, I think they'll be all right. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. Dallas Wings just keep losing. So Chicago Sky. So we'll be all right. I want you guys to keep losing for me. Please keep losing. So we'll be all right. But yeah, the Dallas Wings, they played a lot better today. But they just might as well pack that shit up and go home, bro. I just don't see them really doing anything. They played good. Satu had a good game early, then down the stretch he faded. It's like, if Dallas come out slow, then they'll come back. If they start off fast, they fade slow. I mean, they fade at the end of the game. It's like, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen from them. But that's all I got, guys. I'm finna watch the rest of this football. We're going to have football post game at the end of the day, guys, after all the games have been played and I've watched them. I'm going to do my post game, talk about certain things that need to happen. Also, I'm going to finish watching the WNBA games. I'm going to watch the Sky game from the other day on Friday. Then I'm going to watch the Aces and Fever because everybody's been begging me to watch it. Then I'm going to watch yesterday's game with Connecticut Sun. And then I'm going to watch today's game with the Fever and Wings. So I'm going to give you guys all the videos. I ain't going to get no rest. So thank y'all for listening, man. I am out. Deezy.